Hi, I'm Lara Little, the Library Director and Reference Librarian, and my job is to support students in their research at whatever stage that might be and whatever kind of support you might need. So I'm here today to show you guys, nursing students, how to do nursing research, or more specifically, what resources we have and how to use them to support what you need to do. So I know some of you are transfer students and may not have used any of our resources before, so I'm going to start with a quick overview of the library website, which you get to by going to library.pfeiffer.edu. You type that in and it will put you here. We've got a bunch of search boxes in the middle here that I will go over. Over to the right will always be today's hours, some quick links for you, all of our contact information, and then basic news and events. There are things that are going on. So you've got three boxes here: search everything at Pfeiffer, which we'll look at later, find books and media, which we're not really going to talk about today, and find articles, which is what we're going to talk about because the bulk of your research is going to be done using journal articles. And there is one primary database for nursing students that's usually where you're going to want to start. So if you click on Find Articles, and from this Choose a Database dropdown, you go to CINAHL Ultimate. I can never remember what it all stands for. The N stands for nursing, but this is the primary nursing database. So I'm going to select that and let it get there. All right, so in this database, you can search for journal articles related to your topic. So let's say my topic is Parkinson's disease. Let's see if I can spell it. So I type that in my search box. Now I can just click search and do a search on everything to Parkinson's disease, or I can scroll down here and I can add a lot more options. So for example, maybe I want recent articles on Parkinson's disease. So I tell it I want, say, 2000 through 2024. So I can type that in. I can tell it specifically that I want peer-reviewed articles, and usually you're going to want to do this because your professors are going to want you to use peer-reviewed articles. Some other things you might do down here: if you've been told you need to look for evidence-based practice, you can choose that. You can look for different types of clinical queries. Those sorts of things will be explained to you by your professors. You can look for a geographic subset. So for example, if you wanted research that was done in the United States, you can narrow down by a particular language, by sex, female or male. You can click buttons like pregnancy, inpatients, or outpatients. You can select a particular age group. So for Parkinson's, I might be looking for older, or I might be looking for middle-aged people who get Parkinson's. And then under special interest, several specific things that you can pick as well. You can even go with number of pages. So if you know you want an in-depth article, for example, you could tell it you want it greater than 2 or greater than 5. So lots of ways you can narrow down a search before you even start it. So let me go back up here and click search. And here we have our articles. Here is the title of the article right here. Here's all the information about the article. If you hover over this little thing here, then it will pop up more details. Here's everything you'd want to know about the article, including an abstract, which is a one-paragraph summary of an article. So you can read that, see if it's something that you're interested in. If it is, you can click on PDF full text underneath. And that will open the article for you. So here you can scroll down, read your entire article on screen. You can go up here and print it out, or you can download it to your own device. Either way, you've got your entire article here. There's a few more little things on the right over here. For example, if you wanted to keep track of all your articles, you could click Add to Folder and then go up to your folder here, and everything you were looking at would be there. And you can sign in and create your own little personal MyEBSCOhost account to keep things in your folder from one time to the next. And over on the left here, it can look at the other articles that were in that particular issue of the journal. I'm going to go back to my result list. And again, more articles. Sometimes you may see HTML full text. And what that means is, instead of a scan of the original journal article, they've typed all of the information back in. So here's all the text of the article just retyped into the database. And here at the bottom will be all of the charts and graphs and things like that. So not as pretty. If you have both options, you're generally going to want to use the PDF, but occasionally you may only have the full text option And so in those cases, it's better than nothing. Over here on the left are some of those limits we were talking about before. So if you didn't do it up front, you can come over to the left and tell it full text, or change your date, or tell it you specifically want academic journals, or all of these other things over here. Most of these you could do on the advanced search. You can also click to advanced search from here as well. Now, there may be occasions when we don't have the full text. So I'm going to do a quick search that's going to pull one of those examples up here. Okay, so I've done a quick search to bring up a couple of things that we do not have in full text. So when that happens, it gives you two options here. And because it's not full text in this CINAHL database, does not mean we don't have access to the article somewhere else. So the first thing to do is always click on Check for Full Text at Pfeiffer University. And if we have the full text somewhere else, then it will take you generally directly to the full text. So for example, it's taken you to the text of this article on this particular website. It may take you to a different database where we have the full text. We do have a couple of other nursing related databases that are smaller, so it might possibly take you there. If we do not have the full text, then clicking that will take you to a page that tells you that. And in that case, we can get the article for you from another library. So after you have checked to see if we have the text, if we do not, then you can click on Request this item through interlibrary loan. And it'll take you to this form. You give us your name, your student ID number where it says library card. You don't have to give us an address. You can just type a random character in there. Give us your email address. You don't really have to give us your phone number either. It doesn't let us edit this form. The main things we need are your name, your student ID, and your email address. And here's the information on the article that you're requesting. And you just tell it under here to submit the form. And we'll have the article sent here. It usually, most of the time, we'll have it within 2 days, sometimes even faster than that. It can occasionally take longer, depending on if it takes me a little bit longer to find a library that has that particular issue available. But most of the time, we'll have you the article within a couple of days. Most of the time, you will get an email that looks like it's from me, lara.little@pfeiffer.edu, and the subject heading will be something along the lines of the article you requested is now available. And you'll open that email, and it'll give you a little URL and a little password. So you click on the URL and paste in the password. The article will pop up, you can download it, and you'll have it there. The article will only be there for 30 days, so make sure you actually save it to some device or another, or a thumb drive or something. But usually that's how it will work. Occasionally, I might send you the article as an attachment, depending on how the lending library sends it to me. But usually you will get that kind of form email with the information for you to go download the article. So again, we could get pretty much any article you need. So if it's not available in any way, shape, or form, just request it on interlibrary loan. As long as it's not the night before your paper is due, then we'll be able to get that for you. You also can do a more complicated search up here. So it defaults to assuming that I'm looking for childbirth as a keyword, meaning just anywhere in all of this information. But what I did for this search was I also put the journal MCN, which is Maternal Child Nursing, and look for it in the publication name. So that let me look for an article on childbirth specifically in that journal. And you can change this to be in a title, in an author, in a subject heading, all sorts of different things that you can do. You can also just keep looking for different keywords and use this and over here, and I'm going to click on this, and or and not to look for additional words. So if I was looking for childbirth and I was also looking for say C-sections, let's see if I can spell it, fortunately it pops it up, then I could put the and there and it will find things that are about both of these. I could change it to not, and it would find me articles about childbirth that specifically did not mention C-sections. And I could also change this to an or, and it would find any articles that mention childbirth or C-sections. Although, honestly, I would imagine any article that mentions C-sections also mentions childbirth. But hey, you can use these to combine things. So if I was looking for childbirth and cesarean sections and not natural birth, for example. So you can create a kind of complicated search with these to help you focus in on search terms. And of course, you can always ask us to help you with your search terms as well. That's what we're here for. So that was a brief overview of how to use CINAHL for doing your nursing research. But I'm going to show you a few other things as well. So I'm going to jump back to the main library website. And I'm going to click on Research Tools. And the reason I'm doing that, there's a lot of things here. Here's more information about databases, as we've already been talking about. There are links to email a question, to schedule a consultation with me, information about evaluating resources, citation guides, video tutorials, and assorted search tips. But the main reason I'm pulling this up is to show you that we also have research guides by subject. So we have a research guide for nursing as well. So I'm going to go to choose nursing research. And you can go to this guide and bookmark it, library.pfeiffer.edu/nursing, and then you have all of the nursing research information right there in front of you. So the first thing listed, and give the research databases that are relevant. The first thing is CINAHL Ultimate, of course, but it shows you some of the other things that we have available as well. So there's a coronavirus research database. There's Medline, which goes beyond nursing to all sorts of medical literature. Nursing and Allied Health Database, ProQuest Health and Medical Collection, some other things that are available. On the right, there's some basic information about finding nursing books in the library. All of our health, including nursing, usually starts with R. It's on our fourth stack level, and there's a link to search our catalog. There's also a link to WorldCat, which is a national library catalog that can help you find books that we don't have. I'm not going to go over that today, but you can always come and ask me to go over it. Here's all of my contact information, including my email, how to schedule an appointment with me, and I can do in person or Zoom. And if you need evening appointments, I can do Wednesday evenings. And then useful resources in the library. We always have, it's not the 2022, the picture just hasn't been updated. The Nursing Drug Handbook is one example of something that we have in the library. There's also a link for off-campus access, which is to access our databases from off-campus. You're going to do it the exact same way you log into my.pfeiffer or Blackboard or anything like that. So that's an overview of the nursing research page. I'm going to go back to the library homepage again and talk to you a little bit about Search Everything at Pfeiffer, because this searches across all of our different databases and all different types of materials. So if you're looking for a broader overview, maybe you need a book about Parkinson's disease and some articles about Parkinson's disease and maybe even a video about Parkinson's disease, you could use this to find everything at once. So I'm going to do the quick search to show you what it looks like. We call this Falcon Search. So here it starts with an ebook, something for Parkinson's disease motor systems, and a link to that ebook. Several ebooks. Here is an article, Parkinson's disease and post-COVID-19 syndrome, and you'll see it's got a link now to directly to the PDF of that article. So I can click on it and go straight there. It's thinking about it. This one's taking a while. There we go. So wherever that article happens to be among all of our databases and whatnot, it will take you there. If I scroll through here, let's see, we've got a lot of journal articles. Lots of journal articles, no surprise. There's one in Journal of the American Medical Association. So we've got a lot of different things. If it says citation online, that means we do not have access to it at all, and you will need to request that on interlibrary loan. Unfortunately, this particular Falcon Search does not have a nice, neat form like CINAHL does, so just copy the citation and email me or go to our main library website, and we have a request form there as well. But let's scroll back up to the top here. There are some ways in Falcon Search to narrow down a search, so I can tell it, for example, I want peer-reviewed journals. I can narrow it down by content type. So it found 541,000 journal articles, 383,000 newspaper articles, 1.3 thousand books and ebooks. So if I just wanted journal articles and books, I could check those things. Journal article and book, and that's what it's going to show me. You can narrow it down by date. You can narrow it down by discipline. So for example, if I wanted to do medical journals, I click medicine. If I wanted pharmacy journals, I click pharmacy and therapeutics, etc. What you cannot do in Falcon Search is narrow down by all those other things that you can in CINAHL. So you can't narrow down by sex, you can't narrow down by age group, types of studies, all of those sorts of things you can only do through CINAHL. So Falcon Search is better when you're looking for a wide variety of stuff, or if you maybe just need 1 or 2 articles. CINAHL is better if you need to do the in-depth research. So I'm going to jump back over here to the library website one more time. And I believe I've gone over most of the things, but I also want to point out this little Ask a Librarian button up here. Our job as librarians is to help you with your research. That is what we're here for. But we also recognize that we are not here 24/7, and college students do not necessarily work between the hours that we are here. So we offer an online Ask a Librarian service that's available at any time. You just click on this button and it will take you into a chat thing where you will chat back and forth with a librarian who has access to our databases and who will be able to help you. And that service is 24/7. So please know that there is always library help available to you, and we will do everything we can to help make your research successful. If you have any questions about anything in this video, please stop by and let us know, or call or email or set up an appointment with me, whatever you would like to do, and hope you have a wonderful day.